Today I'm going to help you get more wins on the Mega Start game mode, and we're going to talk about in general which megas are better and why. And at this point, I think you've probably all figured out that Magical Shelly is insane. We'll get there in a minute. First, we're going to talk about the two weakest megas, which coincidentally were the first ones that were in the game, and that includes El Tigre and the Dragon Chicken. Now, the thing that's kind of wild about a mega unit is that it's got about as much health as a fused normal equivalent unit. So El Tigre is kind of like the big brother to the El Primo, which makes sense. He does basically the same thing. He'll do a flying elbow drop after you bust 3 foes. He's got 11,000 hit points and 250 DPS. That DPS number is so tiny, and that's why starting with the El Tigre is not very exciting in a Mega Start, because here's the thing. If you're up against an opponent who can two-shot the majority of your units, doesn't matter if your El Tigre is very healthy, the rest of your squad is dead. Similarly, we've got the Dragon Chicken, who's gonna drop you some golden turbo boots once you get him, which sounds cool. I do like that his DPS is higher, and I don't mind that he has much less health because you really need the DPS, but both of these two are an automatic use your dice to reroll if you're at the start of the mega match and you want to do better. The two best choices are of course going to be your Kitsune Witch and your Magical Shelly. Now the number 2 choice, which you would not reroll if you got this in a Mega Start, is the Kitsune Witch. She's got 575 DPS and she's got 7,000 hit points. She is going to be summoning skeletons that fight on your behalf. Now ideally those skeletons get between you and your enemy, and the thing that's nice about her is she can pretty much 3-shot any unit that's in your enemy's squad that is not fused. Not bad, right? But it gets even more insane. Because if you thought that 3-shotting a unit was crazy, well, what if I told you that Magical Shelly can 2-shot? And by the way, bust 3 foes to fire a magic blast that just like destroys everything. So the thing that's crazy about Magical Shelly is if you get this in a Mega Start game mode, you will destroy people. You can run up and ambush their units and literally 2-shot kill a barbarian. That's insane. So if you can 2-shot kill almost any enemy unit in the squad, this actually has huge implications for what is and is not viable for drafting into a squad. Since the advent of the Magical Shelly, my strong recommendation to you, if you are in a Mega Start game, is to pick very high health units. It does not matter that their DPS is low. So starting with something like El Primo would normally be terrible, but if you know that someone across the way could have a Magical Shelly and destroy you, you really need the survivability. So anything that will give you survivability or have higher health is going to be a huge win. In that regard, something like the Battle Healer, for example, is a really great pickup, but that's an epic. You're not going to get that till later, so it's not going to matter, but like Battle Healer ends up mattering a lot if you can get it once you're going to fight some of these Magical Shelly teams. And in some ways, I'm going to be real with you, like starting with a Magical Shelly is the game giving you permission to win that game, and starting with an El Tigre or a Dragon Chicken after your reroll, which means you can't try again to get something better, you're going to have a really rough experience. Like I almost feel like it just needs to be rebalanced, but presumably when more megas show up in the game, the chances of ending up with a mega that is really suboptimal will be much lower. I'm not really sure, but let's jump into some gameplay and let me talk about the choices I've been making. I think this footage will give you a good sense of the way that I would play the matchup. We'll start with a Magical Shelly game where I've got like just a killer draft lined up, and we'll go with an El Tigre game. All right, you can see there, I got the El Tigre. I re-roll to the Magical Shelly. First thing I do is I go for the blue box. This is still very important. I'm trying to make my way, however, to the middle. And I do think it's worth pausing more frequently to take things out because you can kill them so fast. So I'm in the middle, and Heavy is a perfect example of a really great pick. The Barb is actually super vulnerable. I really need to fuse that as soon as possible. Get another Heavy here. I'm going to stand still for just a second, capitalize on my high DPS to just take out these battle bots, rotating up to get more blue boxes and more battle bots. I take a Colt. Colt is one of the worst things you can get in this game mode because it just, you can get ambushed, it gets popped, you can't even do anything about it sometimes. I am going to take out this boss. Huge pickup there, grab the boots, squatting up, use on the Heavy, going great. I see I can go up to the left. I'm probably going to do that. Yep, get those free coins on the ground. And I take a medic here, which I think is a fine time to start getting more rare units. Then I take a max, so I've got speed, and we can chase down Huge Mistake here. Is it a mistake to go after a player at this point? I think it kind of is, but in this case, Huge Mistake is almost certainly a bot, so they are busted. From there, I've got to fuse on this Colt as fast as I can. So I'm going for it and rewarded. There's the Colt. We go for the fusion. GG easy. I'm going to pop a key because I'm top 50 ranked in the world right now, and I get into some pretty tough lobbies. So, there's somebody. Yep. Boom. And you can see there, in a matter of seconds, Magical Shelly stunned all his guys, bust one of his units, and all he did was walk up to me, and there he walked up to me again and lost a second unit. Honestly, he should have gone to the other side of the map, and he's showing up back for more, so I rotate in on him. Lucky for him, Kaiju's got his back, and now I'm a little bit low health. I'm not sure what I should do here, but I'm getting a little careful, a little cautious. Rotate in on him a third time. Boom! Take out more of his units. Man, he is just having a bad time against me here, but illustrates very perfectly the danger that Magical Shelly represents. I probably took a max there, but a tank would have been maybe the better choice. But speed is not bad, but the problem is that both of my maxes could get popped before I could do anything about it, which is really bad. For some reason, this guy's still in the middle, so because I have the maxes, I take out his fused barb, and then I take out his Colt. And now I'm just in for the kill, actually. Oh, wow, I am in for the KO here. GG, I take out his heavy, and I don't pursue further. Okay. Kind of left that for somebody else, but whatever. I pop a key, go for the heavy. I know the key use might seem aggressive, but like, dude, I'm telling you, these lobbies I get into are just really crazy. At some point, I guess I got a Greg, which I don't remember doing, but okay. Did I just do that? Now I'm going for a Greg fusion, which is extremely sus. At this point, the Gregs are not going to pay for themselves. Like, going for the fusion makes absolutely no sense. Recruiting a Greg at this point is, like, very sus, because it almost, like, costs more gold than he's going to give me back in trees. So, like, okay, I almost move in on that guy. Take another medic, because keeping healthy is super valuable here. I really can't have any units low when a Magical Shelly can roll up and just one-shot stuff if it's low. So, I'm chilling. I'm in first, but not by a lot here. Looking for a fight. All those little skeletons you can see from the Kitsune Witch are very problematic here. And I go in for this ambush. Huge Magical Shelly damage. They actually take out one of my units here. I'm in trouble. I go for a fusion key. GG. So that's a panic fusion key. I don't know if it was really necessary here to lock up the first place, but I did it. And I'm going to take this win here. Now, look, I know that keys completely changed the nature of this match. I wish the keys weren't in the game, honestly. But what you can still learn from this match and observe is how powerful that Magical Shelly DPS is and why it is so important that you have healthy units and also high health units. From here, we can switch gears and let me show you an El Tigre start. All right, here we go. We've got the El Tigre. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that cannon. I get that thrown down. I figure I could take this out pretty quickly, but I probably could have done that a little bit better. I guess I would pick... Okay, Penny is fine, but really kind of sus. Very poppable. I do have a trader that I could take. Take the trader, Chisgule. I really struggled with that. I'm like, man, I really don't want a trader here. I, like, need something to round out the El Tigre lack of DPS. I need to just start taking out blue boxes. This footage is a little bit older for me. I honestly... Looking back on this, see that I'm making mistakes, which is really interesting. I should have just gone for more blue boxes. I throw the log just so that I can pick up my Royal Recruit. I don't know that the Royal Recruit is very valuable. I made a spell tier list. I'll have a card up in the top talking about the best and worst spells, and the Royal Recruit is absolutely one of the worst. Now, I'm looking to move in on that guy. He left, though. Kind of a sus throw of my Royal Recruit. And I'm, like, really struggling to find value here. And that is because in a Mega Start match, everybody can take out everything and it all disappears really, really, really quickly. So now I rotate in on this chest. Chicken would be fine. Heavy, I guess, is fine. And I go in on Snow White, which is almost certainly a bot, and I lose a unit. Very tragic there. I kind of wonder why I didn't just step backwards and grab the Rage Spell. Okay, there we go. Rage Spell. Oh, hello. Rage Spell in. And I'm up against entirely El Tigres, but you can see why you need your supporting cast in a Mega Start to be high health, because the supporting cast gets eaten up and then your Mega is very vulnerable at that point. Wimbledon's basically got nothing left here, but it's still taking me forever. Debatable if this was the right play, but we take it out. I'm gonna take the Wizard, apparently. This, by the way, is when I had supers, not when I have ultra units. I should fuse on this common, Good for you, Chisgule. The Queen was really tempting, but if you look at my squad, like I don't have that much that's going to benefit anyways. I got to lower my squad cost. It's a good pickup. I am using my speed boots. It's so interesting to see how much my gameplay's changed. Like really aggressively here, like too much speed booting. Oh, okay. Nice ambush on Toast here. I have a rage spell, and I just let him go because I have no DPS. Oh my god. The pain of the El Tigre start is palpable, and I'm not even getting anything that can help. I got a Pam. I'm going for swipe left, which apparently is yet another bot in the lobby. We're taking out his units. A lot of elbow drops here. And looks like I'm going to cook this guy. I'm in first, but not by a lot. Left a couple gems behind, which actually is really sus given how low the gem count is here. Gonna have to take the whiz. Throw the spell. I really should have picked up... Wow. So this was before I knew how to put a spell exactly on top of your location. If you just tap the spell, it will deploy it on top of you. So, for the future, everybody. Wow. This footage is actually hilarious. What do we got here? I guess I go for a Pam fusion, but also at this point, that's actually really sus. I should have taken the Queen. So fusions don't make any sense toward the end of the match. Like, I'm not fusing anything. Like, you just go for the best unit at this point, and the best unit would have been a Queen. But whatever. We're going for Paragon. I am actually in first by a very wide margin now. So I guess the other frontrunner got knocked down quite a lot. And I'm at 183. And this is a victory with no keys. So there you go. And I have an El Tigre. But looks like this lobby's got a lot of bots. But the lessons here are still really valuable. If you're on Megastar, reroll till you get a Magical Shelly or a Kitsune Witch. If you start with one of those, then keep with one of those. Don't re-roll if you have the Kitsune Witch. And pick units that are really high health to complement your squad. Otherwise, someone will roll up and bust those units with literally a 2-shot. And the Magical Shelly can knock you back and stun you before you even know what's what, all right? If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here. Consider subscribing. I hope you get more wins on your Megastart games. And I also, kind of hope to see Megastart more in the rotation. I wanted to record a video where I was actively playing Megastart, and I spent like an hour and a half playing games and I didn't get a Megastart. I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna use footage I already have. So here we are. Now that you know what the best megas are, maybe you wanna know what the best spells are, or the best starting units. Check the card in the end screen for those videos.